we're going to enter green shipping with Giovanni Satta from the Italian Center of Excellence on Logistic Transport and Infrastructure from the University of Genoa. Please, Giovanni. Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. I will try to see if it's okay for presentation. Okay, thank you very much. I'm Giovanni Satta from the University of Genoa and the Italian Center for Excellence on Logistics, Transport and Infrastructure. And it has been asked me to briefly summarize which are the main investment opportunities and the main challenges that are shaping the industry in terms of green shipping. And it is not an easy point to assess, of course, but I will try to start by describing what has been done within the WestMED overall domain, and specifically it has been developed a technical group on green shipping that mainly aims at identifying the main opportunities for boosting investments in terms of green shipping, green ports, and also intermodal and multimodal transport. And for these aims, we have tried to develop a very large, very heterogeneous partnership that do not include only Italian partners, but French partners, Spanish, and also from Portugal. And I'm proud to say that also the North African partners are strongly involved from Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia, and also partners from the north of Europe. And this is done in order to increase the opportunity for share knowledge on these issues, and of course also for increased opportunity in terms of capitalization and dissemination activities. In this perspective, the technical group on green shipping has tried to develop a sort of action plan that mainly grounds on 3 pillars. The first pillar is just an attempt to provide an overarching conceptual framework for assessing all the investment opportunities that could be defined as sustainable and green. And in this perspective, we are trying to develop an observatory for green tech in shipping, ports, and multimodal intermodal transport. The second pillar on which the technical group grounds is just the development of a pilot activity that will stress the role of energy communities. And in this perspective, we are trying to develop a network of WestMED maritime ports that act as energy communities. Whereas the third and the last pillars just focus on another issue, that is the refitting activities on the merchant fleet in the Mediterranean Sea, and this is another challenging and very interesting topic, I think. Given time constraint, I will just provide only some insight with regards to each of these 3 pillars, and finally we'll try to focus on the first of these pillars, that is the Observatory on Green Shipping and Green Ports. When it comes to the first pillars, the main aims is just to understand how to share main knowledge and competence related to green shipping in the WestMED area, and for doing so we have just try to use a twofold approach. The first one is just an assessment of the green shipping challenge and opportunities that characterize each regional level. And the second point is just to provide specific feasibility studies for evaluate if these environmental eco-friendly activities are also economic and financially feasible, because the very good challenge here is to make private partners understand that green investments are something that is also economic and financially feasible. It's not only something that could support the development of sustainable economic. And the second pillar, conversely, is just dedicated to energy communities. In this perspective, the WestMED technical group is just moving on both more theoretical pattern and also on an empirical one. On the theoretical pattern, we are just trying to gather all the relevant information that are valuable for understanding which are the technical viable solutions for developing energy community, that is the production and consumption of renewable energy and the clean energies. And the other point is just to develop some business plans that are developed at micro level in order to make understand to port authorities and other port managing bodies that these issues, these options are financially viable. The third point is just a second pilot action that addresses the refitting and the renewing of merchant fleet. We are just starting with ferries, auxiliary services, and so on, because in these terms we have a lot of opportunity in the Western Mediterranean countries, and for doing so we are trying to disseminate good best practices that exist both in France and in Italy in terms of shipyard and also in terms of shipping company, like for example Grimaldi is known as a very good operator in terms of improving their green attitude by investing several financial resources on these issues. But just focusing on the first pillars, okay, something is not going.
Yeah.
We will not focus on the first pillar. Okay, I will do this without the presentation. Okay.
It's coming.
Now they account. Thank you very much. When it comes to the Observatory for Green Investment, Shipping and Ports, we have already developed our methodological framework. It's grounded on 4 steps. The first is just the technological assessment. The second one is just the design of our methodology. Then it comes with the data gathering, and finally with the expected main outcomes. For the technological assessment, we are developed a specific spreadsheet that include all the main technological opportunities that exist in terms of green shipping, and for each of these technology we have provided a technology description, we have mapped the state of the art, and we are just gathering several information with regards to technology-related data, market data, supply chain data, localization data, and so on, even including economic and financial highlights, as well as the environmental impact that each of these investment opportunity ensure. When it comes to the main outcomes, our general idea is just to provide some KPIs, some key performance indicators that can support the policymaker when assessing different viable options for investing both private and public funds in this industry. And the observatory will include 3 different topics that are green shipping,
1 minute.
Green ports, and intermodal, multimodal transport. As predicted, my presentation is a little bit too long. The main idea behind
He's censored. Censorship.
I'm Italian. It's quite obvious. So I will try to do my best. And we are focusing on 5 main clusters of technologies, which are ship propulsion system and alternative fuel, technological solution for energy and for environmental efficiency, but also waste treatment system, water treatment system, as well as autonomous and autonomous ship and digital technologies. Of course, we have no time to see the whole map of our activities, but there are several new initiatives, for example, for IRENA, that in 2021 has prepared a report that allows us to understand which is the readiness level of the shipping fuel. And we are moving on in this perspective. Also, the industry is moving on. And even if currently the merchant fleet is still strongly based on carbon fuels, we have some new investments in battery, in LNG, and also in hydrogen. And so something like 12% of the ship on order book are just strongly focused on alternative fuel and green fuel. So we'll move a little bit further. We have tried to make a first partnership attempt with our partners, including both the South European countries as well as the North African countries. And so we have created the Oasis in Waterborne project, and we are trying to participate in some calls. And I think that there are several fruitful fields in which we can collaborate on these issues.
Thank you. It's extremely interesting, and thank you for summarizing. This is very good. Yes, so we want to have questions from online. Shall we start?
Maybe we go to the other speaker, and then we take the question later. So Gabino González, I think he should be online.
He's online. Yes. Can you just check if his Gabino González he's not here? So I guess yes, he's online. This is him.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, indeed.
Where are you? Are you in the Atlantic?
In Malta. In Malta.
Okay, so we are on the same page, right?
Same page, but the morning has been long. Many interesting discussions. So it seems that we spent the whole day already.
Okay, thank you very much.
keep the path. We really need to go a bit quicker here, so we appreciate if you keep it very, very short.
Yeah, we'll skip some of my slides. So first of all, thank you for inviting us to participate, and allow me first to, if we can change the slides, to introduce the Regional Marine Pollution Emergency Response Center for the Mediterranean Sea, REMPEC, which was established in 1976 in Malta in the framework of the Mediterranean Action Plan of the Barcelona Convention, the first regional seas program set up by the United Nations Environment Programme. Since its establishment, REMPEC has been administered by the International Maritime Organization, which, as you know, regulates the shipping sector to ensure the safety and security of shipping and the prevention of maritime and atmospheric pollution by ships. REMPEC coordinates UNEP and IMO's effort to support Mediterranean states in the meeting regional and global targets. We can skip the next slide and move to the following. So we skip this one. Thank you very much. So the 22 parties to the Barcelona Convention, who are the 21 Mediterranean coastal states and the European Union, are expected to adopt in December this year the Mediterranean strategy for the prevention, preparedness, and response to marine pollution from ships for the next 10 years, 22 to 2031. The strategy set out 7 objectives addressing global and regional environmental crises, namely pollution, climate change, air emission, plastic and marine litter, non-indigenous species, protected areas, and emerging issues. To meet this objective and contribute to the global efforts toward achievement of the global of the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030, an holistic action plan composed of 190 specific actions are expected to be implemented in the next 10 years. These actions will address the need of people, institutions, and infrastructures, and ensure efficient information and knowledge sharing. To leverage the financial resources and technical support required for the full implementation of the strategy and its action plan, we need to channel international cooperation and maximize synergies. The countries of the Mediterranean region are calling for a collaborative, coordinated and collective effort. Government, regional and international organizations, NGOs, research institutions, and the industry need to step out from existing silos and build sustainable partnership. An evaluation on human and financial resources for the implementation of the action plan is currently being carried out, and this will assist stakeholders to prepare jointly projects aiming at achieving this common strategic objective. Early next year, if the strategy is adopted, REMPEC will invite Mediterranean countries and stakeholders to meet and discuss priorities, ongoing and planned concrete activities and projects to implement and report jointly in a concerted manner achievements and progress in the execution of the strategy, creating synergies and avoiding duplications. This will be a challenging coordinating exercise. Nevertheless, this is required to maximize the use of available resources, channel efforts at national, sub-regional, and regional level to strengthen network and the capacity of Mediterranean countries to meet SDGs. The strategies has already catalyzed dialogue with the relevant stakeholders such as UFM, WestMED, and the European Maritime Safety Agency, as well as the Global Oil and Gas Industry Association for Advancing Environmental and Social Performance, IPCA, who contributed to the development of the strategy and initiated consultation to synchronize the program and project. I take this opportunity to thank colleagues from UFM and WestMED for their invitation and for their collaboration, and call for further collaboration with other stakeholders operating in the region to join this initiative. The strategy represents an unprecedented commitment to take concrete and concerted action supported by rigorous enforcement, and together we can fulfill a common vision, a clean and healthy Mediterranean marine and coastal environment with a sustainable and pollution-free maritime sector to benefit present and future generation. Let's make this happen. So I had the video after that, but I think the time is it's too short for that. So thank you very much.
Thank you
the
very much.
The Mediterranean Sea has been an important route.
It tricked me. I mean, depends how long it is. If
it's 3 minutes.
I think it's a bit too much, but we will show and we will share. And I think a couple of things here. First, but thanks a lot, Giovanni, and thanks a lot, Gabino. We saw the broader regional picture and we saw the WestMED sub-regional picture. What Gabino mentioned is that the outcome of the technical group also fed in as project idea in the broader REMPEC regional strategy, so we're really cooperating with that. We have a couple of questions online, but I suggest that we keep it and for our own internal discussion, and we will really use it as input for our further action, because we have we are fortunate to have the manager for green energy at Grimaldi here, Dr. Dario Bocchetti. Grimaldi is on the forefront of green shipping push in the Med. So if you don't mind, Dario, if someone can bring the microphone, if you can stand up and very, very briefly, I'm really sorry, Dario, to give a bit of a pitch comment on your side on the shipping company, and then maybe we move to the next sector, and thanks a lot.
See, good morning. Congratulations for the event and the invitation. We are looking with interest of all this project, and it's true, we in Grimaldi have about 130 ships, 50 Mediterranean. We touch more than 40 ports in almost all the country that are part of the WestMED cooperation. And we have a lot of projects. We especially operate Ro-Ro vessel and Ro-Ro passenger vessel in all these ports. And we really are investing a lot in battery, for example, a lot of innovation for this green technology and sustainability in the future. What I would like to leave to this floor, a part of the congratulations and hope for the success of this organization, is that motorways of the sea today are facing a lot of challenge, especially in terms of new regulation from EU, when it is about carbon tax and new fuel that have to come. So on one side, it's important to prepare of course, that also the ports are ready for this new as infrastructure for this new fuel, but for the European Commission that is also present here, in terms of policy, we see very little money given to this infrastructure, because infrastructure is not only the port, but also the ship that need to go from Tunisia to Spain or to Italy and to Malta, to Sicily or to France. And nowadays there is a lot of talking of this necessity, but in real practical investment we don't see an action. And it's not possible to compare in the finish the vessel with a bus. So European Commission targets are very ambitious, we agree, but it's possible to make a full hydrogen bus for downtown, but it's not possible to make a full hydrogen vessel in 2023. So we need also to scale up the investment and not pretend that zero emission today, but to reach zero emission in 2050. European Commission with the CEF program and other things need to support today, not tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dario. It's actually a perfect pitch for also mentioning before passing to the next sector that motorway of the sea has always been, of course, part of our discussion. We know that so far was mainly related to north. There was a very interesting, our Tunisian, our Jordan, our even Libyan colleagues that were nodding. Motorway of the Sea of the South is also a very burning issue that we want to discuss, and we're very happy to get back to you very soon on that. I think maybe I switch my chair with Tano.